Hey guys, it's Just Glenn, and today we're going to be talking about all the dark secrets in Bo Burnham's 8th grade movie. So for any of you who don't know, 8th Grade is a movie written and directed by Bo Burnham, who has been a musical satirist, comedian for several years. And in this movie, it follows the adventures, of a girl named Kayla Day in her last week of middle school, aka 8th grade. And it shows the struggles, the challenges that she's facing, and basically just how the last week of that school year went, and her preparing herself and getting ready to go into high school next year. So because these things are a lot more exciting if you build up to the best ones, we're going to start really light, really easy, really simple. So the first secret, that's not a huge secret hidden within 8th grade, is the usefulness of YouTube. We all know that YouTube is useful. We all use it constantly for a problem we have, if we don't know what to do, we look it up on YouTube. But looking up specifically how to do those sort of things on YouTube, so characteristic, so beautiful, in fact, because that's true. That's not something that any of us would like to admit, but we've all looked up weird things, I don't know, either out of boredom, curiosity, or whatever. Also, the fact that when Kayla changed it from just normal to good, that the same video was still in the top 3, if not the top 2 search results, that's YouTube keywords right there. Second, and this one's not so much of a oh my gosh, mind-blowing secret, but a little bit of a secret. Gabe actually lies to Kayla. Near the end, we see that Kayla and Gabe have sort of a friend hangout day sort of together, and Gabe mentions that he watches her YouTube channel, which is the thing. When I heard that, I was with a friend, and he looked over at me when they said that, and I started cringing, because just one thing, especially if they're a smaller YouTuber, I can't say if they're a big YouTuber, but especially if they're a small YouTuber, and you know them personally, you're a friend of theirs, you're someone that they see on a regular basis, don't talk about their YouTube channel. It is so cringy because we feel awkward about it, because a lot of stuff that you put out when you are, newer is cringy, and you do kind of realize that. So don't talk to them about their videos, because you can say any good thing that you want, but we know how cringy it is. We recognize that it's probably not the greatest, and yeah, I just cringe so hard at that. But the lie comes in is that he says he's watched a bunch of her videos, and yet there are 3 videos that we see in this brief scene, one of which has 2 views, one of which has 1 view, and another which has 0 views. And I know that YouTube's algorithm is really messed up, and they aren't counting views very well, and they mess up on a lot of things, but still, sometimes they get things right. I'm pretty sure in order for something to have no views, no people could have viewed it. I wish I had footage so I could show exactly which video he didn't watch, because I couldn't remember. But yeah, if you watch the movie again, or when more scenes of it come on YouTube that you can look it up, try to find out which specific episode, which specific video that she made had 0 views, because I think it'd just be interesting. Maybe it shows a little bit about Gabe's character. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to get that information because I wasn't paying enough attention when I watched the movie. Third thing, I just thought might as well kick all the YouTube stuff out right in the beginning, because I know that's not what you're interested in. She doesn't return to YouTube. At the end, we see her create a video for herself in a time capsule for, at the end of high school, but it never implies anywhere that she goes back to doing YouTube videos, which is really sad. It's, I don't want to say a failed creator, but a creator that's given up before they can actually get out there and start doing stuff with their channel. And that struck me hard when I noticed that, because I'm oh my gosh, that's literally something that I struggle with every time I film a video. Am I ever going to make it? Am I ever actually going to, get somewhere and do something with this channel, or am I eventually just going to give it up with achieving nothing? But you can help me not achieve nothing by subscribing and sharing this video with your friends. I love that plug. If you loved how slick that plug was, you should like this video and comment down below how much you liked this video. Thank you for getting my engagement up and my subscriber count. The fourth one, and this one is subtle, if you're paying attention you catch it, but if you're not paying attention you miss it. When Kayla's invited to Kennedy's birthday party, and you know, obviously, like, Kennedy doesn't want her there, and Kayla doesn't want to be there, but like, after Kayla's present is opened, and she's like, oh, it's like Go Fish for like a lot more fun. And then the cake comes out, like, he's like, happy birthday, and he's bringing out the cake, and then the mom's yelling at him, like, no, we have to put a surprise first, whatever. And then the dad yells, I wait at 8 a.m. to get this goddamn cake, you're going to enjoy it. Or something, you know, to that effect. I just thought that was a really, like, subtle way of showing, hey, this isn't a happy family either. Like, even though we've been portrayed that this is a perfect family and a wonderful family, this family is not perfect, this family messes up, this family, I hate to say it, but like a lot of rich families, like it's kind of that stereotype that like there's dark secrets underneath and that they don't actually love each other and that their marriage is failing. This movie kind of adds to that with that slight little line that like Kennedy's mom and dad maybe, you know, aren't as in love anymore. Maybe their marriage is kind of rocky and shaky. I just thought that's a nice little detail that's only like briefly mentioned that you could have missed if you weren't paying attention. The fifth one, and I found this very interesting, was that being on your period had nothing to do with this movie. Now, obviously, it's 8th grade. In 8th grade, since it's the end of 8th grade, we could assume that she's 14, because most people turn 14, you know, by the end of 8th grade. That's kind of how the school system usually works. And we know that Kennedy is turning 14, so we can assume that Kayla is probably 14 too. So, you know, 14, by this point, most girls have, you know, at least had their first period, especially with, you know, all the research being done nowadays showing that girls are getting it younger and younger. I felt that was interesting that that was never brought up. That was never put in here. And this is a normal week, and this is what girls have to go through. And maybe just 8th graders in general, because it doesn't have to be specifically girls. I like by not having the period in there, it's more saying this isn't specifically just for girls. But just showing like what can happen in middle school on a normal week. Starting to get a little bit more serious now, we get to number 6, which is you don't always know your best friends as well as you think you do. Because obviously, like Olivia, like when they went to the wall, it was Olivia and Kayla and like 3 other people. One of them being Riley. And we all know what happens between Kayla and Riley. And the fact that Olivia has probably been friends with Riley for a little bit of time, sometime, because like, you know, it was just originally going to be the 4 of them going to the mall, hanging out. I think Olivia was just being like, hey, she's new, she knows me more than Riley, can we just drop off me first so that, you know, just so that Kayla isn't nervous because she's being driven by someone alone who she doesn't really know. And like, yeah, so I think that was going through Olivia's head. I don't think she was actually concerned about what Riley might do. I think she was only concerned about Kayla being nervous, about it being awkward. I think she had absolutely no idea about what Riley was thinking. And then obviously, number 7, we couldn't go without talking about this. We have to talk about the car scene. This scene was done beautifully. I love it. It was intense. It was nerve-wracking, it was dark, it was creepy, it was awkward, you could even call it a little bit disgusting. And like we all felt that, like that was very evident, it was very prominent, like you saw it coming, you saw the build-up, you saw like everything, and like the fact that like it didn't actually result in any, you know, actual sexual act, because clearly sexual harassment can happen at any age. The dark secret that happened in the scene, as much as I want to say it was horrible and disgusting and all those things I previously just said the scene was, there's one thing that the scene wasn't, and what it wasn't was illegal. Now, I can already hear you, you're mad, you're screaming, but listen to me. Okay, if Kayla hadn't refused, if Kayla wasn't like, no, I don't want to do this, which like clearly she was, so yeah. But if she hadn't, what would have happened between Riley and Kayla, saying it did go somewhere, wouldn't have been illegal. Because of this rule called the Romeo and Juliet law. Now, the Romeo and Juliet law isn't in place in all states, but we know from looking at the movie, we know that this story takes place in New York. It's, I forget the city name, I'll have it like right here what the city name is, but it happens in New York. And New York is one of these states that has the Romeo and Juliet law. Basically what it says is that if you're in between the ages of 13 and 16, you are allowed to engage in sexual activity with anyone who is not more than 4 years older than you. Okay, like I said previously, we can reasonably assume that Kayla is 14 because most people turn 14 while they are in 8th grade. And since we don't ever get her age officially, we can reasonably assume that. Now, also it is known that Olivia is a senior. Most seniors turn 18 while they are in their senior year. So we can assume that Riley is 18. By this logic, that's 4 years of difference. So since we don't know their exact birthdays, their exact age, but we can reasonably assume that Kayla is 14 and that Riley is 18, if anything had happened to them, Kayla was okay with it, they would have been completely covered by the Romeo and Juliet law and no illegal action would have happened that night. But on to number 8, and this is important. This is more of like a wake-up call to parents if any of them still don't know this. All these things happen, okay? There wasn't any like grave mistakes. All these things that happened, I could relate to. I could name, when I was in 8th grade, every character that we were brought up to that was mentioned in the movie. All the events that happened, I could relate to a similar thing that happened to me when I was in 8th grade. These events, this movie is so powerful, the story is so powerful, the events are so powerful, because almost everyone can relate to it because it's realistic. These things actually happen. And this brings me to my fun little number 9. Like I said, all this is realistic, all this actually happens. The most unrealistic thing that I found in the entire movie was that Kayla never struggled to untangle her earphones. And then finally, number 10, and this is just a sad little last secret thing. There's no good resolution at the end. Like, is it good? Yeah, like, we're kind of happy at the end. But think about it. Gabe and Kayla are still awkward. Like, they had like a fun little time, but it's still awkward-ish. Kennedy is not nice to Kayla. Riley is never caught. Nothing ever happens to Riley. Kayla still has to go to high school in the next year. And she doesn't start creating YouTube videos again. She doesn't like blow up and get famous and start producing YouTube videos again. The only thing that's really changed is her attitude and how she relates to her dad. It's usually like the heroine or the hero changes and then like everything starts changing around them and they see results, but there was no results seen. Those planted seeds, those seeds that like, as she continues on this path later in the future, things could get better. But there was no actual results, which is, I'm so happy for that actually. Like, it's a secret, it's sad, but it's realistic because in the real world, results don't happen right away. It does take time, it does take persistence, which is a video that she talked about while she was doing a karaoke singing, how confidence, if you continue being confident, you continue trying things that scare you, keep doing it, eventually you'll be able to do it without thinking about it. And I thought that was really good that this movie also displayed that as well. Like, it's not an immediate change, you have to work on it, but things will get better. I'm going to rate it just because it's kind of a movie review. On a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being, I hate it, get out of my head. 5 being, it was okay, but I'm probably not going to see it again. And 10 being, I loved it, I'm going the next day. Solid 9.8. Honestly, I cannot wait to see it again. I'm going to see it again. This was so beautiful, and there's so much I probably missed that I want to catch. But yeah, it was a great movie altogether. If you haven't seen it for whatever reason, go and see it. Honestly, you should have seen it before watching this video, because now you know all the dark secrets. But yeah, so like I said earlier, guys, make sure you hit that subscribe button because subscribing really helps me. And, let's not be another failing YouTuber. Like this video if you like it. Comment down below. Was there any secrets that I missed in here? What are some of your favorite parts from 8th grade? Just like, throw it out there. What are things that you like about this? Share this with any of your friends who have seen 8th grade and like would relate to some of the things in here. Or if they haven't seen 8th grade and they need like a little push, like, hey, this is a really good movie. Share this video with them. All my social media is right here and in the links below. Don't forget to follow me everywhere because I am amazing. I make good quality content. I think that's all I need, guys. So let's have some fun and smile because we are out of 8th grade.